It's time to sip that coffee, get your mind right, and vibe with the queen herself. We're dishing out hot topics, wellness tips of the day, and things that make you go, Let's get this palace party started.
All right. Happy Monday and welcome everybody. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday, my favorite people in the palace. Happy Monday to you. Listen, we are on our way to work today. We hope everybody woke up on the right side of the bed. If not, it's not too late to get your ass back in and try again. Because listen, we do not want you going to work in a bad mood right now. Listen, let me remind you, it's up to you to decide how you want to show up in the morning at work. It's all on you. Don't nobody care. If you are not a morning person, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Okay. We are showing up. We're showing out. And today we are talking, listen, here's the rundown. Here's the list today. We're talking about Jamal Bryant, and we're also talking about E.J. King. I was calling the boy E.J. Johnson until I found out that he has denounced his family. According to E.J. King, he says that Magic Johnson's son, E.J. Johnson, is dead. That's what he said. I don't know how I would feel about that as a billionaire, as a parent, the identity, the likeness that we've branded, that you come out with a name, your God-given name. And not only do you take to the internet to embarrass your sister and take pride in competing with her for a man, but then you go off in left field and declare that our namesake is dead. I don't know about all of that. I don't know about that. That's a good question, Sherry. You said, what did they do to him? Ain't no telling, but we're going to talk about it today. It's just a lot going on in the world. We had the Oscars last night. I hope everybody had a really good weekend. There was the Houston Rodeo this weekend. Let me tell you something. It was a hot mess. I went to the Houston Rodeo this weekend. When I tell you I have secondhand embarrassment, to a point I said I wasn't going to talk about it. I guess I will. Y'all are going to have to do right and do better, Black people. Y'all are going to have to do right and do better, because this is ridiculous. Let me see. I want to find something. It is ridiculous how we behave when we get and gather in a group, and don't be saying it's not all of us. We know it's not all of us, but there's an established pattern of behavior that it always happens with us. We're almost guaranteed to do the damn fool each and every time we get together, whether you from a state or a city or not. Like, why is that? Why is it our first instinct to just hold on? Let me send you. Watch this. We just gonna get straight into it. I'm going to show you some of this foolery that occurred this weekend at the Houston Rodeo. And when I tell you it was a waste of money for me, I am so disappointed. I do not. Let me say this. Listen, ain't no sense in me pretending. I don't like y'all's children. They're not well behaved. They may be well behaved in front of you, but when you drop them off, they turn into full-blown demonic spirits. And I'm talking about demons. I don't care. And I know a lot of people are more, we tend to believe the kids. Mama, I didn't do this and he hit me first. And mom, well, my son said, you might not want to listen to what your son said. I remember many years ago, Judge Judy said this. She says, if you have a teenager, the best way you can cover yourself as a parent is every time they talk, assume they're lying. Therefore, you're not surprised. When I tell you so many teenage kids, young adults were hauled off to jail this weekend, rightfully so. I don't want to hear nothing about targeting, stereotype. They acted a fool this weekend. Acted a fool. It's no more excuses. Nobody's coming for us. Let me just say that. Nobody's coming for us. We're putting ourselves in many positions in a position to be targeted. Let's just take a look at some of this. First of all, let's lay the groundwork. For the first time in rodeo history, and I think the rodeo was started in like 1932. For the first time ever in rodeo history, the Houston rodeo was shut down. That has never happened.
So I saw the video where the Houston rodeo got shut down, and would you want to take a few guesses to why the Houston rodeo got shut down? I'll give you a few hints, right? It's not actual cowboys and cowgirls. It's niggas. Niggas got the Houston rodeo shut down. And you say, John, why do you say that? Go watch the videos. It's the behavior, it's the dresses, it's the lack of accountability, it's the lack of decency, it's a lack of respect for law enforcement. Niggas. It's nothing new. Like, y'all know it, but y'all can't say it. So I'm gonna say it for you. Niggas got the Houston rodeo shit shut down. I don't know why anyone in Houston would want to even invite this crowd out to do. It makes no sense, man. Like, it was cool, and it was just like Bun B and, Slim Thug and all these, like, like, give them a couple nights. But they've turned it into Freaknik. Shut it down. So I saw the video where the Houston rodeo got.
Like, what is wrong with y'all? It's gotten to the point even we don't want to be bothered with us. Even we don't want to be bothered with us. When I tell you this was supposed to be a family night for us and money was spent. Let's just take a look at some of the buffoonery. I don't want to hear nothing. I mean, we require a complete do-over. A complete do-over. Here, let's just take a look at some of this foolishness. Hold on.
Ooh! Ah, the ghetto! The ghetto! The ghetto!
Just ghetto. Wait a minute. I haven't even shown you everything. Let's take a look. Look at this. These are your kids. These are your good children. Your children that you've dropped off and expect us to babysit for 5-6 hours at a time. You're good children. Nice. However much money you spend. Look at this. These wigs. These nice iPhones. Is this not a mess? Look at this. These are y'all's kids. These are not their kids. They're raising their kids. Their kids are not involved in this buffoonery. These are y'all's kids. And I don't like them. They're embarrassing. This is when people see this is what they think of you, and me that are tuned in. This is horrible. Horrible. In my city, the Houston rodeo has never, ever experienced this level of hoodness. And let's be very clear, folks, the rodeo is not a Black event. It's an event that's open to all for family. That was, we have black cowboys. I wanted to see the little black girls that are 6 and 7 ride the sheep and do all of that. They shut down the rodeo, y'all. They shut down the rodeo. I was so pissed off. Let me tell you why. Do you not know the number of small businesses that come in that depend on this money once a year? They fly in from all around the world. They bring their cattle, their livestock, their animals, their kids come and work. And yeah, well, they got a few more. They got another week. They've had weeks. It doesn't matter. One day, one loss of income could easily be $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for a small business. Like the way that we are so self-absorbed and embarrassing And I kept wondering, listen, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I am at an age now. I'm going to get myself somewhere where the other people are. I kept wondering when we walked in, I said, why are all the white people right here in this tent? It was such a beautiful, large tent. It was country music. I mean, the people had on their hats and their boots. And I said, where my people at? Well, let me go over here. It says carnival over here, and I should have known. See, keep heading in the direction where the carnival was, where the bag of tricks were. And you best believe I beelined it back for the other tent and sat my black behind out there with the nice people under that tent where it was a lot of money to purchase a bottle of wine. And I paid and I had a good time listening to that country music because I was not about to deal with the foolishness. And when my instinct kicked in, I told my husband, let's go in and look at the animals. Let's go. I don't know why, but I'm glad I did. And as soon as we went in, according to the news, maybe 10 or 15 minutes after that, they started a fussing and a fighting and throwing hands and doing everything but enjoying the rodeo. And can I ask y'all one more question before I move on? How do you justify allowing your daughters to walk out the house looking the way that they look, dressed in the garments that they dress? I don't care if they're 19, 20, 21. Do you not say, listen, you're going in a place where there's going to be thousands of people. This is a family event. That's inappropriate. Because I know a lot of you lean to the left. Well, we can't tell these kids what to do. But you damn sure can make a recommendation. You may not be able to tell them what to do. I get that. But you damn sure can make a recommendation. You damn sure can issue or implement a little bit of wisdom and knowledge. Listen, there's going to be people out there with their children. This is probably not something I would have wanted you to see at that age. It's a bit indecent. But you know what? When I tell you they are talking, I guarantee you, thank you, Texas Canon. I agree. They're going to have to implement new rules next year. And I don't want to hear anything about y'all playing victim, talking about we're being targeted and stereotyped. As we should, because we were the ones who got it shut down. We were the ones who got it shut down. Now, not me and not you and us good old family folks that go out there to spend a nice coin, to have a nice time with our families, but it doesn't matter because we all get looped in the same bucket. Hell, I came to see this kind of carrying on. This is what I wanted to see.
The average, she is out of the top spot by 0.2 of 1 second. It is time. She's moving to number 9 in the world. Watch this horse. Watch this horse. Watch this horse, Las Vegas! Let's go. 2 in the average. She is out of the top.
See, I come here for this type of carrying on. This is what gets me excited to see the women and the men, the girls, the boys, white, black, yellow, brown, come out there and do their damn thing. I get excited about the discipline and watch this horse. Baby.
Horse Las Vegas! Let's go.
The horse finished the barrel race on his own. I mean, none of our kids, listen, our kids don't want to be, they want to be outside fighting. This was beautiful to me. I came to see this. The beautiful work of this cutting horse. Like, teach your kids there's other than rap and pulling your pants down. Like Latrice said, you see the little girl that sold her lamb for $1 million. Come on, y'all. What are we doing? I was talking to somebody. I said, our boys aren't even built to throw down physically. Our boys aren't even built aesthetically to have a good old decent fist fight anymore. Many of them weigh maybe 120 pounds. Can't even if they wanted to. We don't even make them work out. I'm not talking about all of them, but most of them, if you see them, they're smaller than the girls now. What are we doing? But this was some beautiful work by this cut horse. Was it not? That's all I'm saying. It's folks like me that come to enjoy this kind of stuff. Let me see what else we got. Now, we did have some fun stuff. Let's check this out at the rodeo. Hey, double Dutch. They said they brought Philly to Houston. Hey, you better get in there, girl.
Rock it to the right.
Hey.
Rock it to the left. Rock
Hey.
in the middle, boy. Rock up in the middle, boy. Rock up in the middle. Rock. I said rock it to the right. Rock it to
Wasn't that nice?
rock up in the middle, boy. Rock up in the middle. Boy.
That was nice. Here we go. So double Dutch. People were getting in that. But listen, this is an aerial view. This is an aerial view of the Houston Rodeo. March 14th. And I don't know what made me go this day. Never again. I'm gonna go, but not on a Saturday when y'all just drop your kids off and I learned my lesson. Do you not see the danger? This was way too many people. And we made sure we acted a fool. But that's it. That's all. I'm going back. I'm going back to enjoy myself. But listen, we're going to switch gears a little bit. Yo, I caught this Uber video of this Taco Bell executive beating the crap out of an Uber driver.
This is what happened during Uber driver Edward Caban's last ride on Friday night. He had just asked this apparently drunk passenger to get out of his car.
It was terrifying. It just got blows to the side of my head, and I'm, fumbling with the pepper spray.
Yeah.
I'm giving you
Passenger Benjamin Golden, a marketing executive for Taco Bell, was arrested by Costa Mesa police and charged with assault and disorderly conduct. Taco Bell fired him tonight, saying it offered and encouraged him to seek professional help. Caban picked the 32-year-old passenger up from a bar. From the beginning, he says the man was belligerent and refused to give him a drop-off address.
I don't feel like he would have stopped if I didn't spray him. The way that he was coming at me, I was afraid he was going to start strangling me.
Get out of my car.
Sir.
Get out of my car or I will call the police.
It appears Golden is about to leave, but then this.
Let me tell you something, you all.
When riders sign up for Uber, they agree to a code of conduct. Uber also has a rating system for riders designed to keep drivers safe.
I definitely don't plan on driving for Uber anymore. I'm looking for a job right now.
Ooh, that was a lot, honey. That was a lot. And Taco Bell said, listen, he's out of here. And not only that, we encourage him to get professional help. Taco Bell, let me find out that you're hiring young executives. That's something kids say. Go get some help. What the hell was going on this night? And what bar did you come from? Because I'd never want to go to that bar. I don't know what kind of Harvey Wallbangers they're serving up over there. But if it makes you do that, I want nothing to do with it. At all. Was that not a mess? To have that much anger? And you're a marketing executive. Jeez Louise. Everybody's angry these days. But look, let's get into these looks, okay? Last night for the Oscars on the red carpet, honey. Kim Kardashian. She glitters at the Vanity Fair. Red carpet party. Do y'all like it? Is it hit or miss for you with Kim Kardashian? I don't like the hair. It's giving bad head. I don't know whose idea it was. I think a bun would have done it. The dress is absolutely gorgeous. I think she has the body. to get into it. The hair, I'm not sure where we were going with that. I don't know whose idea that was. So what do you think? Is it a hit or is it a mess? And thank you, Patricia, for the $5 super sticker. You said it was a lot of them from out of town, all of them trying to outdo the next exposed ass, a contest. It was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting to see our girls out there, young women out there like that. Oh, you said next. They're saying Texas Cannon said it's a miss. Okay, let's go to the next look. That y'all are saying this is a miss. Here we go. Gabrielle Union, hit or miss? I'm gonna say it's a miss, but let's see what y'all say. Okay. Faith said this one is a hit. I'm gonna call this one a miss. I don't think it compliments. I think I'm gonna call it a miss. Let's see what everybody else. So we're on Gabrielle now. Is this a hit or a miss? We got miss. We got miss. The Aesthetic Noir says it's a miss. I'm gonna go with miss. And for me, it's she has a small chest anyway. It doesn't accentuate the chest, and this brooch necklace that you have, it's just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I would have selected this. It's not a good look. Let's go to the next look. Jeff Bezos and his wife. I think they look nice. I think it's safe. Now, what's up with the black stockings? I think it's a very safe look. I think you can't go wrong with black, a black tux, black suit, black evening gown. I'm not sure about the stockings, the pantyhose of it all. What do you think? Is it hit or is it a miss? I think it's safe. I'm going to say it's hit. It's a hit. It's a hit. I got boring, eloquent, elegant. Y'all are saying it's a hit. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the next look. This next look is about to blow your mind. Oh, not this one. Not this one. Child, this is it's giving hefty, 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 wimpy, wimpy, wimpy. It's giving Ziploc. It's giving a garbage bag. It's giving a combination of a big one with a little one. I don't know what this was supposed to be. Tracy, what were you thinking? I'm going to say no. This was a huge miss. A huge miss. Whose idea was this? Hefty, hefty, hefty. Wimpy, wimpy, wimpy. This is a huge no. But this one right here, baby face. We have to give you a round of applause because you did that. And for lack of a better word, I think the word that I'm going to use, stunningly beautiful. 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 What do you think? For those of you, is it a hit or is it a miss? Okay, Deborah doesn't like it. It's a miss? They don't like it. You said, I don't know what's going on in the neck. Okay. Wow. We are a 50. Is sassy? I think it is given demure. I feel like he looks okay. Wow. I'm off on this one. Y'all do not like it. Usher and his wife. Is it hit or is it mess? He's wearing a tuxedo. And what he's done to the pants is give it more of a flowy feel, almost like a karate pant. I'm going to say his wife is a miss. The shoes are horrible. It's giving misery. The shoes are horrible. This is one, she has on lace. It looks not lace, but fishnet gloves, netty gloves, mesh. This big chunky necklace, these strappy shoes, giving First Lady on the bottom. The shoes are giving First Lady. Welcome to Ebenezer First Baptist Church. If you are a visitor, we would like to ask you to stand. And on the behalf of Deacon Usher, you are welcome, welcome, welcome. That's what is given to me. Okay? Hold on. On the bottom is giving you a welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the kind of dress that says a lot. So you didn't need the necklace. And if so, I think a nice diamond necklace where it just, the diamond sat right in the middle of your collarbone would have been beautiful. Less is often more. I would have traded out the shoes for something really simple. Usher looks nice. I don't know if I like the red rose. She should have rocked a nice pantsuit. Or I would have traded out the bottom skirt for something flowy pants on the bottom with this. It just didn't complement her well. I get it's probably pricey, but for me, it's a complete hit. I mean, miss. They're saying the whole ensemble. That's what I see y'all are saying. The entire ensemble is a miss. His son, the aesthete says she likes his sunglasses. I like his sunglasses. I think it would look good with a two-piece for a summer, a short set in the summer. I don't know if it was the right thing for this. Who is this? Her face looks familiar. This is a complete miss. Absolutely not. It's giving drapes. Absolutely not. Who is this? Who is this? Hell, y'all don't know who it is anyway. Who is this? Exactly. Y'all said that's Quinta. Quinta? Girl, this is a miss. This is, no. I would fire my stylist. The fact that you even recommended this, she seems like a petite girl. This is not the dress for you. We're going to go ahead and move on. Is that Mary? Who is this? I know that ain't who is this? Who is this? Let's see who this is. I was about to say, is that Mary? It looked like Mary, but these days, you know, everybody be getting fillers, and that's Mary. I was about to say that it looked like Mary, but okay, Mary did something different. I don't like it. It's I don't like it. It's too much. You got the blonde hair, the red lipstick, the red in the front. I think you got the open toe shoes. No, I think you could have ditched either the cape or kept the dress, but you can't do both. Take off that necklace. It doesn't go. It's given dog collar. And I listen, sometimes less is more. I would have preferred the blonde hair. A high pony would have been satisfactory. The shoes have to go. The shoes have to go. With the toes peeking out is given. This little piggy went to the market. This one stayed home. And this one cried, wee, all the way home. No, Mary. Chris Rock and his girlfriend. Chris looks nice. I don't like his girlfriend's dress. Wife, new wife, girlfriend. I think it's, the purse is cute. I don't like her outfit. He looks safe. He looks nice. If we're going together as a combo, I'm going to say it's a miss. But if we separate them individually, I'm going to say he was a hit. She was a miss. What are y'all saying? Another prom look. There we go. What's DTR, I think? What is DTR? Y'all got to use real words with me, honey. His third mistress. I knew it was one or two. All right. So this is Chris Rock and his honey bunny. Okay. Kris Jenner, hit or miss? It's given Black Widow for me. That's what I mean. I could have worked with the bottom. I don't know about the top with the ties. The ties reminds me of a little school, like a top that a young girl would wear. The hair, I don't know. It's y'all are saying it's a miss. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with that. It's giving Little House on the Prairie, a modern day Little House on the Prairie. Yeah, I don't know, Chris. Kiki. Kiki. Yes. I'm gonna have to give it to her. What do you think? Now, this one we're probably gonna have to duke it out 50-50. The hair, perfect. I think Black women look absolutely stunning with their hair pulled back. It's just something about our natural facial features that requires little to no effort. I think the earrings sit just right. I think the makeup is just right. A very natural look. The top complements her skin tone. Now, here's where we probably will agree to disagree. Kiki, you didn't have to pull the skirt down. What you could have done is actually pulled the skirt up and did a very high seductive split. And I'm talking high. You get what I'm saying? Let's see what y'all are saying. Let's see what the crowd is saying. Oh, you're talking about Chris. Let's see. Y'all are still on Chris? You said it's about to look. It looks like she's about to lose the bottom portion. Yeah. Okay, DG says the deep velvet, the deep purple velvet, I say a hit. I say the color scheme definitely works for her. I'm going to agree with you, True. The hair is giving Miss Kitty from Gunsmoke. It's definitely a hit, okay? All right, let's go. Is this Jennifer Lopez? Who is this? I like the color. Who is this? Everybody looks so different. A split would have been nice on Kiki's dress, a very high split. You're not a fan, but I think she would have rocked it. I have no idea who this is. It's given a hint of Jennifer Lopez. Nicole Erie, I'm not sure. Let's see if we can magnify this. Who is this? I have no idea, but I think she looks good. I just don't like the hair. I think the dress looks good. I think she looks good. I like the clear heel. She could have even gotten away with the deep bronze heel. The dress, the color, everything looks really good on her. Her legs look great. I don't know who this is. When y'all figure it out, let me know. You know what? Is that Halle Berry? I don't know. Let's go to the next person. Okay, this is not Kylie Jenner, but Kendall. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the color. I don't like the hair. I don't know. I'm not a fan of baby blue. You said that was Halle Berry? This is a Kendall Jenner. I don't like it. It fits her really nice. I think she could have done better. That's it. That's all. All right. We're about to get into the thick of it. We're moving on. I want to start off with Jamal Bryant first. Jamal Bryant, listen, he backed that thing up. After receiving backlash, Jamal Bryant came out and backed that thing up and issued an apology to the women that people accused him of squashing. He said that was not his intent, yada this, yada that, and he issued a public apology. Let's take a look first at a different interview before we get into Jamal's apology. Jamal, I think you were out of line. Okay, I'm going to call it. And while I do appreciate your apology, it was the right thing to do. The damage is done. That's something my grandmother would say. The damage. It is. How many of you feel like, no, they can roll this thing in. We can still move forward with the boycott. It's not too late. I feel like this is my angle. Once the cake is contaminated, it's no longer fit to be served. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had someone to stick their hand in your birthday cake and then expect you to slice it and serve it to your guests? In my opinion, that's exactly what Jamal Bryant did to the collective work of those beautiful, educated, smart Black women who spearheaded this evolution. You stuck your hand in their birthday cake and you're saying, I'm sorry, but everybody come, you can eat it. No, it's contaminated. It's no longer fit to be served. I don't care if they press forward or not. It's discombobulated, it's disjointed. The damage is done, if you ask me. It's not cohesive. It's not oneness. And it makes us look as if we cannot get our ish together. That's it. That's all. So here we go. Let's take a look. Give me 1 second. So this is Roland. Nakima Levy Armstrong says Jamal Bryant. Watch this. See, this is why I say it's a wrap. This is This is Nakima Levy Armstrong, and she says that Jamal Bryant, Nina Turner, and Tamika Mallory are not credible and they lack integrity. This is embarrassing to me. This is very embarrassing to me as a group of Black people who cannot even stand united to get the job done. But this is what she had to say.
Marshalling folks nationwide.
Well, first, I want to say I feel like I just watched a theatrical performance and I need a palate cleanse after what I just heard, which I do not feel is genuine based upon my own experience in dealing with Jamal Bryant. He knew full well what he was doing when he flew to the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. to call a press conference trying to end the national Target boycott. The amount of upheaval that he has caused is absolutely absurd for us as a community to be dealing with when we have shown unity and coming together and withholding our dollars from Target Corporation. Remember, a company that's based right here in Minneapolis, and all the harm that Target has done. So I am just...
Have you been marshaled?
So Nakima, according to Culture News, has made it very clear, crystal clear, that Jamal Bryant, Nina Turner, and Tamika Mallory are in no position to end the boycott that is working. She said that is working. She also confirmed that Target has not, it's he say versus she say, that Target has not met the demands. And for that reason, the boycott continues. Let me just say this. As for me and my house, I'm out. I'm out. I'm going to do what I want, when I want, how I want. And let me tell you something. Y'all are not cohesive. I don't participate in anything that's disjointed, that has no clear line of leadership. See, I'm out. I'm not a Target girl anyway. I'll stop there in an emergency, but I can't tell you the last time I went to a Target anyway. And it wasn't because of a boycott and or a fast. I just go where I go. And most times I shop online. Target too damn high anyway. Who would go to Target to get household cleaners that's marked up $5, $6, $7 than what the market price is anyway? But I'm out. You can't lead me. Y'all have shown that you're not fit. I don't care who started it, who finished. This is a cluster F.
Drops January 24th. January 25th, Nina Turner and her organization calls for Target to put DEI back in place, or they were going to launch their boycott on February 1st. On January 29th, you posted on Instagram about your news conference and launching the boycott on February 1st. And then, of course, you had local folks who were on the ground. You had pastors and churches. And then, of course, you had the contingent here in Washington, D.C. that was protesting every week outside of Target. So it wasn't.
And we are the ones who live in the place where Target is headquartered. Let's not forget that. Because if any of these people had the power to call and sustain a boycott, then they could have done it in their cities. When you have places like Walmart, Amazon, many other companies that rolled back DEI, and all these people were silent. In our town, when things happen, guess what? We're boots on the ground right away. We don't have to be online calling for a boycott because
Let me say this. You see what I'm saying? Now it's becoming unprofessional to me. At this point, that's why I said I can't get with it. But okay, let's go to the next one.
I understand that. That's
around the country. But don't dilute the leadership of the people on the ground in Minnesota. Because you and I had a conversation about this very thing. And I told you at the time that Jamal, Tamika, and Nina are not credible.
Okay.
That is why I would not join the national coalition that you wanted to form in the middle of all of this.
No, you and I had a conversation. You and I had a conversation.
Well, we had a text or email.
Right. No. No, I'm going to say.
I need her to pause for a second, but go ahead.
What it is.
I said to you that they're not credible, and they're not.
No, I'm going to say what it is. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. I'm going to hold on.
Okay, Nakima.
1 second, Nakima.
Stand with this man in Washington trying to call for an end to the boycott. Now they're trying to save face, talking about they're still in it. We don't need you in it. Go find something else to do with your time that doesn't involve confusing Black America at a time like this.
Let's be very clear. Hold on. I don't know who y'all are and who designated y'all as the spokesperson of me or me. I ain't confused about it. We not confused. Let's be very clear. I think y'all are confused, honey. We're just on the sideline watching y'all go. We are very clear about where we are. We're not confused. You don't have to put a leash on us and direct and navigate us. Either we have the ones that are participating and following your lead, or we have the ones that aren't. I think y'all are confused about what each of you are doing. Y'all are the ones throwing each other under the bus. Let's continue.
How can you stand with this man in Washington, then turn around and say, oh, I'm still boycotting. Oh, my organization. No, you made a choice.
I understand that.
I felt like Nakima was doing a great job up until this point. Let's see what else she has to say.
And I told you why. I said,
I got you.
Work with them. And they don't have integrity, Roland. And as you just saw this week, that is a clear example of them not having integrity.
So I'm asking you this.
Why would Tamika?
Okay, Nakima. 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 That may be why they want you in that boardroom. If you're gonna railroad, or if you're gonna come through and steamroll the conversation like that, that's not a good look. You gotta pause. You've got to be able to present well. You've got to take a little bit of the edge off. You're giving me secondhand embarrassment now. Listen, let's get something straight, Simone, because I'm not fighting with you today, okay? You said Nakima has a right to be mad and overtalk. No, she does not. No, she does not. If Nakima is taking to a public platform to say that she is representing the Black community, I'm going to say I need you to clean it up. You can still be assertive. You can still get in there and make your point, but I need you to do it with button up a little bit more for me. I don't like all that emotional when we trying to do business and talk business. You lose a little bit of value, in my opinion. Now, we can't just give in to every damn feeling we want to give into and get the over talking and coming out here acting a damn fool because we mad. Yeah, listen, you saw what happened at the rodeo. People was mad this weekend and decided they're going to come up there and fight and got the whole thing shut down. We got to do better. Hold on now.
Why would Tamika and Nina show up in Washington when this man's agenda was to call for an end to the boycott? Now they're backtracking, claiming the boycott is still on. We don't need this kind of confusion in our community. They can, if they have all this organizing prowess that they claim, then prove it and show us what else you can do. We don't need their help with the Target boycott, obviously. And if the Target boycott wasn't successful, you wouldn't have a divide and conquer strategy where they're sitting here meeting with white leadership from Target, calling for an end to the boycott and nothing to show for our community.
Oh, they got something to show. I think, but let's hold on.
It's a bunch of garbage.
So I'm gonna go
and
back.
It's not from serious people don't do things like this.
And I'm gonna go back to the
They
original.
don't.
I'm gonna go back to the original question.
And I told you why. I said
no, I got.
Oh, we got to be able to have progress.
Well, the first one is that the most obvious one is that Target reverses its decision to roll back diversity, equity, and inclusion. Let
me ask you something. Do you need that to happen? I don't want that from Target. My self-esteem is a little bit more intact. I don't listen. You don't want me there. I don't listen. I don't give a damn. I don't need Target to roll back a goddamn thing. I'm not crawling on my belly begging for anything from Target. If that's where they are, that's where they are. Bet. I don't need them to go back and give me anything, especially a job, if they don't want you there. What are we doing? What's the point of them rolling it back when they will end up firing you anyway? What kind of game are you playing, ma'am? When somebody doesn't want you, they don't want you. It's no different than a man that doesn't want you or a woman doesn't want you. The deal is off. The relationship is off. I'm not begging and crying and pleading for you to open the door and let me in. Okay, duly noted. Are we that bad off?
That should be obvious. The second demand is for Target to account for the $2.1 billion that it pledged in 2021 in the aftermath of the killing of George Floyd.
Well, since then, there's been a change of leadership. I think that's gone. I think Target is at a lot of people pledged a lot in the aftermath of the death of George Floyd. But I'll ask you again, what does his death directly have to do with Target? And I get it. Well, you got to keep your word. A lot of people don't keep their word in situations where there's a lot of controversy. A lot of corporations went out and purposely hired Black women and got rid of them when things died down a year or two later.
Our third demand has to do with Target's involvement in increasing the incarceration rate in Hennepin County, Minnesota, leading to a young man by the name of Mahdi Ali, a young immigrant who at 16 years old wound up in prison for 2 murders he did not commit. Target had contributed funds to the Hennepin County Attorney's Office, and they said, we don't just want arrests, we want convictions. And then they sent 2 for.
Are we overreaching? Are we expecting people to be responsible for things that they have no direct dealings with? Now we need, I got it. Tech Talk with Darius says, listen, they pledged money, but let me, and a lot of people did. A lot of people pledged to expand their diversity, equity, inclusion improve their hiring practices, to be more intentional about recruiting efforts and blah, blah, blah. And they didn't. How come we haven't moved on from this? I kind of think, this is me, there has to be something in this for these leaders. Why are you still sniffing around their front door? Why are we still sniffing around their front door? What's really in it? What's the real tea? What are y'all really fighting about? Because it damn sure ain't for us. Let me tell you that. It damn sure ain't for us. Because the money that you're talking about, you're wanting them to point it back at black banks. If you own a bank here in this chat, raise your hand. The money that you're asking them to point back for us sounds like specific nonprofits that have to meet specific requirements. If you received any type of communication from Target, Tamika Mallory, Nikema Levy Armstrong, or Nina, whoever, about your nonprofit qualifying for $100 million from Target, raise your hand. What are y'all really fighting over? Because it damn sure ain't for us. None of you will benefit from Target doing a damn thing. Let me just say that right now. None of you will benefit from Target doing a damn thing. And here's the problem that I have. Even if Target does make a move on the quote unquote, on the behalf of the quote unquote black community, it's not going to benefit you. You are the ones that go into the store, that spend the dollars. You are the working class. You are, i.e., the middle class. But the money that they want to direct back to the black community doesn't go to you. It doesn't benefit you. They want it to be allocated to people that don't have the money to go into Target. So it's not an equal exchange. What they're saying, what you're asking for, almost it's like for Target to feed the homeless, not literally the homeless in the black community, but you're asking Target to pour into a demographic that cannot reciprocate. And you are deciding who this specific demographic is. So you're not really working on the behalf of black communities. You're working on the behalf of specific individuals that own specific organizations that stand to receive money that most of us don't know anything about it.
Forensic analyst to testify at his.
Hold on.
So the question is, who is allowed to participate? So if there are other organizations,
Everybody else.
No, 1 second. One second. Hold on.
Nikema,
1 second. If there are organizations, if they're out there who want to participate, what is the process to bring them into the fold?
They're more than welcome to participate. The process is to continue getting the word out that the boycott is still going on.
No, here's my point.
Individual communities. Well, I am an organizer, Roland. You are a media person. Okay, let's understand.
I know that. And so what I'm asking is
how many protests, demonstrations, everything else that I have successfully organized. So as an organizer, understanding decentralized leadership, it's asking people, number one, continue to spread the word in your networks and in your community that the Target boycott is still going on. And as a matter of fact, to double down. Number two, if people want to organize actions within their community.
So the question is, who is allowed?
This isn't the right tone to get ish done. I'll tell you that right now. This isn't the right tone to reach the masses to get ish done. This isn't the right tone that you walk into a boardroom with men and women that have the power to make a decision on $2.1 billion. That's all I'm going to say.
We'll find ourselves in the exact same situation because the vast majority of the people helping to lead in their cities actually have integrity and are operating with integrity. Did you see any of them calling a press conference in Washington, D.C. trying to end the boycott? No, what you see is collective action. People using social media to get the word out, people holding demonstrations like they've been doing in Washington, D.C. in front of Target to get the word out, people working through their networks, people sending letters to Target, writing op-eds, withholding their spending, finding other places to shop. Even when Reverend Al Sharpton was taking people into Costco as a part of the strategy. That is not the same as what Jamal Bryant, Nina Turner, and Tamika Mallory have done. So please don't try to conflate the two.
No, actually, I'm not conflating. I'm not conflating
I'm not
the two.
talking about organic organizing,
Right.
which is what people are doing. And some people have taken meetings with Target. We'll find ourselves in the exact same situation because the vast majority of the people helping to lead in their cities actually have integrity in our.
This is a mess, y'all.
Letting us watch the theatrical performance
first of all,
of Jamal Bryant. We would have had more time if we had invested on that.
Nakima, first of all, this is my show. And I covered that today.
understand.
No, Nakima, one
And
second,
this is the
Nakima.
Oh. Whew.
Nakima.
Roland.
Yeah.
Nakima,
Lord have mercy.
Boycott.
Nakima, I played that because it actually happened today. And so that's why I played it. It still is news. Whether you disagree with it or not.
Doesn't matter.
Well, first of all, whether you disagree or not, it's news. So I was going to play it. So it got played.
It was a theatrical performance.
Okay, well, that's your interpretation. I'm still going to play it for the benefit of the audience. The question is this here.
Oh, Lord. Oh.
As relates, no.
Because I don't want to waste my time listening to that.
Nakima, well, guess what? I played it when I played it because it led into the conversation. Now it's targeted as a new scene. Targeted as well. I made the decision. Well, guess what? I did it. I played Nakima. I already played it. Here's my question.
It was a waste of time.
Well, no, it's a waste.
Listen, this is a mess. Scrap the whole thing. That's what I say. Now, do you see why I said, listen, if this is the leadership, no, thank you. I'm going to sit this one out. Appreciate the efforts. Understand what you were trying to do. But I'm good. I'm good. Seems like y'all have an internal conflict that you may want to kind of work out behind the scenes, but this ain't it for me. This ain't it for me. I require a little bit more buttoned up approach. I like to see you go if you're going to go. I like you to walk in a room and own it. Damn, I was coming here to hand Jamal Bryant his until I heard her. Because sometimes I like listening to things with you all in real time so that my opinion isn't biased coming to the forefront. Could it be that Jamal is a better I know what he did was wrong, and he does too. Hence the reason he apologized. But could it be that he's a bit more polished in his presentation? Damn, Nakima, I feel like you had an opportunity to come to the masses, and this wasn't your best approach. This wasn't your best approach. This was sloppy. This was too disruptive. JME said, how is she coming across as an angry Black woman? She's doing exactly what Roland does when he's on other platforms. Is he considered? I don't know. You tell me. Would you give her $2.1 billion based on that approach? Would you feel good having a conversation with her where you can't get a word in edgewise? You tell me.
Well, first of all,
hold on. Let's go to what Jamal Bryant, had to say. Houston, we have a problem. Here we go. This is Jamal Bryant. All right. This is Jamal Bryant, and he issued a public apology on his platform, his podcast, which is called Let's Be Clear. All right. We're waiting. I don't know if this is just
this week.
Here we go.
Welcome to the Jamal Bryant podcast, where we go from the sanctuary to the streets, from the congregation to the street corner, from the pulpit to politics. Today is our 100th episode, and I'm grateful for those of you who have been on the journey with us. Today was supposed to be a hallmark celebration, but given the most recent events that have taken place this week, we're having to make a hard pivot. I wanted to address you directly about what has transpired around the Target fast and the Target boycott. I have extended my life in serving our people, serving our community, and serving my congregation. The very last thing I ever want to do is be a proponent of division or divisiveness. I want us to be together as one. This week, I failed at doing that. When it is that I called for the end of the Target fast, most in our community and culture were disappointed, angry, frustrated, and bewildered. What did it mean? Have you sold out? Have you given up? You wave the white flag. And emphatically, the answer is no.
No, but but you did. You did sell out. You did make an executive decision before taking into consideration the thoughts of the people. You did wave the white flag, and you did so at a press conference.
I wanted to walk you through what has taken place over the last year that has gotten to the place of where we are right now. A year ago, Target boycott started in two different places, one in Cleveland, the other in Minneapolis, Minnesota, distinctively by two significantly strong sisters, Attorney Nakima and Representative Nina Turner. I watched it play out in real time.
Okay, so we have two women, Nakima in Minneapolis, and then we have Nina in Cleveland.
And it dawned on me that the Black church was not a part of the equation or the conversation dealing with civic engagement.
Okay, now that's the problem. You have two women who, now we know what we know, are not, and we're not on the same page behind the scenes, but they move full speed ahead to introduce this boycott, right? You, on the outside looking in, says, I want a piece of that. And I want to approach it from the angle of the Black church. This is a civic engagement. And I think the Black church should be involved. Why? That would be my first question. Why? Does the church need to be involved?
And I pulled from their genius and their prowess, the Target fast, to walk alongside them. It was intended to pull together Black churches, Black congregations, and Black denominations to get back in the conversation. We're part of a generation that doesn't see the relevance of the Black church or has not been able to bear witness of our prophetic mantle.
So I think it was an opportunistic move on your behalf. Let's just call a thing a thing. You said you felt like in spaces and when we do things like this, Black churches are often overlooked or not involved. Listen, I'm moving all of the stuff out, right? Let's get straight to the point. Yet again, here's something that's happening in the Black church, i.e. Jamal Bryant is being overlooked, and you feel like this is something that you should be involved in to showcase the value of the Black church. Let's get into it.
As a consequence, there's the largest demographic of Black people who don't go to church, 28%, the largest amount of Black people who self-identify as atheists, 8%. And so I wanted to drive the church to be in the center. The Target.
There you go. There you go. To which Rachel Lindsay described this thing accurately. She says, my problem with Jamal Bryant is he has to be in the center of everything. The man just told you, I wanted to drive the church to be in the center. Why? It was already started. They had it. You can't be the focal point in this. Why not just take a back seat or bring up the rear?
Fast that began the first week of March of 2025 was just to go 40 days from Ash Wednesday to Easter. And in so doing, we understood out of the footprint and the blueprint of the civil rights movement that power concedes nothing without a demand. So says Frederick Douglass. And so we asked for 4 things.
So you came in, they introduced the boycott. You found a way to finagle your way in, and you introduced the fast. They introduced the boycott. You introduced the fast. Very confusing. It's a direct compete. I'm not going to hit you head on. I'm going to sideswipe you. You go ahead with your boycott. I'm going to tell my congregation and my people, my community, that we're going to fast. Somewhat adjacent to what you're doing, but I'm going to establish my own thing so that I can finesse you and take the lead on what you're doing. Let's go.
We asked that there would be a reimagining of DEI. We asked that there would be a redress around the inclusion of HBCUs in partnership. We asked that there would be a funding in Black banks. And we asked that there would be an honoring of the commitment of $2 billion for George Floyd that was pledged after his murder. 300,000 of you signed up at Target Fast and said we're going to be a part of this movement for 40 days. 40 days came and gone, and yet you stuck in there. You held to the commitment. You didn't waver. You kept driving, and you didn't go in. I want to take a moment and personally thank you. We've had an amazing impact this generation has on a Fortune 500 company that so many people thought was too big to fail. Target Fast was just a strategy and a tactic of the Target boycott. It was not to take its place. Boycotts are...
But you knew what you were doing. You knew that there was a chance for confusion, a chance for the lines to, maybe, you knew what you were doing. You're a smart man. You knew exactly what you were doing.
In fact, riddled with a demand. But I wanted you to know that I've heard your emphatic outcry, that it wasn't just about those 4, but Target, in the community's estimation, was a prime candidate for cancellation, saying no matter what happened, you were not going back. I was reading from a different sheet of music. I made assumptions that were not true. And I wanted to apologize to you for being a leader that was out of touch with what it is that the community wanted and sensed what it is that the community were demanding.
That's crazy to me that you could sit there and say that. I appreciate your honesty, but what it says is you are out of touch. That's why I say I don't trust any of you. You're not fighting on the behalf of the Black community. You don't even know what we want. Our voices are not included in your negotiations at the table. You're out of touch. You didn't even know. We are not important to you. Those are buzzwords. You play on the emotions of Black people just like everybody else. You exploit Black people just like every other corporation and organization. You're no different, in my opinion, than anybody else that's trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. In one breath, you say the Black people need to be involved and be the center of it. The Black church is overlooked. And in another breath, you said, I had no idea. I was disconnected. I didn't even know. Because you don't care. You don't care. We are not important to you. Those are buzzwords. It sounds good. It looks good. It drives the narrative. It gets your foot in the door and gets you what you want, however that looks behind closed doors. You don't give a damn about no Black community. You don't give a damn about them Black folks. That's disgusting to me. That you could actually go somewhere under the guise of I'm representing the Black people, and then come and say, I was disconnected. I didn't even know what y'all wanted. That's because you don't rub elbows with people like us. You're not in rooms with people like us. You're not trying to understand the needs of the Black community. There's never been a cohesiveness between you and the community. How could you not know?
It's much greater than those 4, and I've heard you, overwhelmingly so. And not having a good read of the room, I take full responsibility of.
You don't have a good read of the room because you're not in the rooms. And the rooms that you're in, you're not bringing us with you. None of you are. None of you would ever extend the invitation to an everyday Black person to come into the room to lay out a business case or the true needs of the Black community. Y'all are getting in there, getting what you can get. We don't own no damn banks. We don't have the nonprofits that are going to receive, handpicked to receive $100 million. That ain't us. Those are y'all that own that. The fact that you can get out, any of them, I don't give a damn who started it or who finished. These people can brand themselves as nonprofits, advocates for the Black community, and receive a great portion of that $100 million. The HBCUs. What pilot program? You still haven't told us. How does that benefit our children? And not all of our children go to primarily Black colleges.
I wanted to give redress to some things, and I hope that you'll lend me the time to do it. I am the son of a pioneering womanist theologian, the late Dr. Cecilia Bryant. I am the brother of an amazingly brilliant sister psychologist, Dr. Tamar Bryant. I am the husband of a brilliant and insightful prophetic witness, and Dr. Carrie Bryant. I am surrounded by brilliant, beautiful Black women. And so in no ounce of my bones or blood would I ever try to co-opt what it is that Black women are building.
But you did. And that's why we're here. That's why you're apologizing. You did. You're directly competing with them. And maybe your mom, the brilliance of your mom has a little bit to do with that competitive spirit. It sounds like as the only boy in the house. I don't know if you were or not. But you did. You felt like maybe she wasn't doing a good job. Just say that. But don't say you would never co-op, because you did.
Just a week ago, when I had the humbling opportunity to speak at Reverend Jackson's funeral, in my remarks, I said that we've got to let Black women lead. And that
what happened
can find itself in all truth, even when it comes to this movement. Publicly, privately, to the press, and in conversation, I have heralded out loud the remarkable leadership of Attorney Nakima, Representative Nina, and Sister Soldier Tamika Mallory. I think that they are incredible leaders. And I don't want history to record that I tried to stand in the way of the leadership of warrior women.
It's too late.
I absolutely tip my hat to them for their innovation, for their courage, for their passion, and their fire. It was my intention then, as it is now, to walk alongside them, but to never walk in front of them.
Oh, baby, you took the lead now. Now, at this point, it's a done deal for me, but you definitely took the lead.
Let the record reflect and show that it was Black women that started this movement. It was Black women who were at the helm. It has been my privilege to stand alongside them. Some of the murky confusion that has taken place is that we have interchangeably used the target fast with the target boycott. Two different things, two different entities, but it is a train.
This is where it gets confusing.
Connected to the same wagon. Our intention was just to go 40 days. And so when I made the declaration that the target fast was over, it was mixed mingled with the target boycott at large.
I think you said the boycott is over.
I should have lent greater clarity to that. The 40 days went to 365. What took place in those 4 asks, it is not mine to champion the accomplishments or the achievements, but I bequeath it over to Target, who ought to, in fact, share what has happened because of your fasting and because of your withholding of dollars and how it has impacted Black colleges, where they are with DEI.
It's too late. It's like a gender reveal. Once you announce the sex of the baby, it's too late. Don't push me to the front to say, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you didn't want them to know. I'm going to let you have the honors. It's too late. It's too late. You've ruined it. You've taken away the suspense. It's too late. The damage is done.
And quite frankly, where they stand with George Floyd. I'll yield to Target to talk about those milestones and those accomplishments. And I yield it to them because I don't work for them.
Who sent you? because Nakima is saying they have not met the demands. They have not made good on their word. And you said they have. Those are two conflicting dialogues. Who sent you? Why were you in the meetings?
I am not an employee of Target. I have not been compensated by Target.
Yet.
None of my colleagues or comrades have received a dime from Target.
Yet.
The church that I pastor has not received anything. No.
Yet.
501c3. No friends of mine have received anything from Target.
Yet.
Whenever it is that we met, we purchased our own plane tickets.
To be reimbursed? That's a question.
Purchased our own hotels.
To be reimbursed? That's a question. Let's be very clear. Businessmen are very savvy. They know you do not leave a paper trail to show in situations like this that anybody's receiving direct funds. So don't be silly, people. They cannot do that. You have to get very savvy about how you do this. It could be a pledge. It could be a donation. It could come a year later. Whatever it is. It could be allocated to those nonprofits. It could be allocated by way of HBCUs where you sit on the board of director. You have to get very, very creative.
And never once were we ever even fed. We are grateful that we can stand before you with clean hands and a pure heart to say, in the words of Hosea Williams, that we're unbought and we're unbossed. I am grieved that because of the pain and the trauma and the triggers of leadership of days gone by, it was an immediate presumption that we have been bought off, or that I have been bought off. And I wanted to tell you, as God is my witness, I have not, and I would not. I am grateful to be free, to know that what it is that I do is because a charge I have, and a God to glorify.
I don't think you work for free. I don't believe that. And I could be completely wrong. I don't think you travel for free. I don't think you purchase your tickets for free. That's just my belief. I don't think you were doing this for free. I don't.
In this year, I would be derelict and irresponsible if I did not take a moment to thank the Chamber of Black Commerce, led by their fearless director, Ron Busby. He walked alongside us and said, Jamal, while it is that you're calling people away from Target, you should be directing people to Black business. So when 300,000 people signed up at targetfast.org, they received a digital directory of Black businesses around the country, because we wanted to make sure that Black businesses thrived. Not only did we do that, but I want to thank 5 partner churches. The Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church in Houston, Texas, pastored by Marcus Cosby.
Okay, that's here in Houston. Is he primed to receive some of that $100 million? Is that one of those nonprofit organizations that we're talking about?
Reverend soon-to-be Congressman Frederick Douglass Haynes III at Friendship West Baptist Church. My comrade at arms, Dr. Charlie Dates in Chicago.
Did they receive anything?
House of Hope. Reverend Stephen Green at Allen Cathedral in New York. And of course, right here in Atlanta, the New Birth Missionary Baptist Church.
Mega churches. Shout out to them. Mega churches. Everybody's a part of this except common Black folks. A good thanks to everybody except the common people.
Here we set up bullseye markets where over 100 vendors went to each location, geographically, regionally, so that Black people would circulate their dollars and understand that we have a responsibility to exercise the Kwanzaa principle of cooperative economics.
Nah, exploitation is what I call it. Don't spend with them. Here's a list of people I need you to buy from. Exploitation at its finest. Here, don't spend with them, but go check out my homeboy's barbershop. Go check out my homeboy's mechanic shop. Go check out my homegirl's bake shop. Who made that list? Why are y'all fighting over us like we're slaves and property?
Economics. I want to pause and extend my heartfelt commendation to the Black businesses who over this past year have had to pivot and had to contort because of the adverse impact of this boycott. The Black businesses that were on the shelves of Target who have seen a significant drop in sales because we were not there. We want you to know that we love you, we support you, we stand with you, and everywhere outside of Target that we can be of a benefit and an ally, I want you to know that we are committed to it. The authors who pulled your books off of the shelves because you stand in alignment and stood in agreement.
Listen, thank you, Verti. You said, money in and out of the church. Oh my, yes, let's funnel it that way. Baby, when I tell you a pimp in a pulpit, called out everything that's directly connected to the church. Him and his homeboys. Thank you, Chanel. Exactly. Linda Gamble, the mega churches, not the small ones that are struggling, not the common folks. Him and his homeboys. Him and his homeboys, not the little ones that could use a great deal of support as nonprofit. Now, by the time you eat that up, 100 million, 5 churches, shoot, me and my homeboys could walk away at least 10, 15 million each. Didn't Willer just build and expand? They still need to pay for that new church they just built. I'm just saying. Me and my homeboys, shout out to them. Because that's what it's giving. And then you talk about the Black business owners that Target extended their shelves to.
I am most grateful for you making the sacrifice for the larger good. The last 72 hours have caused me to do a lot of soul searching, to figure out where it is that we are, what it is that we've done, and what missteps were made. And I wanted you to be mindful that there were no private deals.
I don't believe you.
We met with the new CEO, and part of the reason why it took us so long to get to this point is because we had a very closed relationship with the former president and CEO. It was not until this new one that the doors swung open ajar. He began on February 1st.
You didn't even get a man 90 days to settle in. You were already up there looking for that money comes to me.
On February 1st, he said to 400,000 employees and to Bloomberg that he realized that he handled the Black community in error. And part of the reason why it is that they were spiraling downwardly is because of their mistreatment to our community. I am wanting you to know with a burning desire that when Bishop Leah Daughtry and Tamika Mallory and myself went into that office, Representative Turner was unable to come that day because of...
Then why'd you go without her? I smell a deal. We come together, we leave together. Why would you agree to go with half of the band present? One band, one sound. How come you couldn't reschedule it? How come you would get on that plane, you and Tamika Mallory, and leave the other 2 behind? Now they have to take your word for what did and what did not transpire. Now they are completely dependent on you and your transparency for if there is or is not a deal. Why would you not? Why would you go with 50% of the board missing for such an important meeting? Why did you move forward without the other 2 women present? That should have been a no. Immediately for full transparency. Because I guarantee you, Target had all of their people at the table. I guarantee you, listen, upfront business people, whether they reneged on their promise or not, they're not conducting a meeting without the right people in the room. And the fact that you and Tamika Mallory moved forward anyway with 50% of your entourage missing, that says a lot to me, because I know damn well Target had their people at the table.
Health challenges. We were very clear that we were not meeting for gain, but for community advancement. While it is that we met, we laid bare what it is that the community was feeling, how it is that we felt ignored and dismissed because there had been no acknowledgement. And I want you to know that you were represented with integrity.
No, you weren't. No, we were not. The fact that you left the other 50, the other 2, they were not there. I call hogwash. I call bullshit.
You were represented with honor. It's been my privilege to be able to stand in the gap, knowing that what it is that we were doing was for our collective and our cooperative good. You ought to give yourself high commendation because America, the world, has not seen us walk together in this level of lockstep in 70 years.
Sir, you didn't walk together in lockstep with this. Did you miss the memo? You were heavily disconnected. You left 50% of your board behind. You decided to take a meeting that they could make. You didn't give a damn.
The generation that they discounted and underestimated stood up to the plate, 10 toes down.
First of all, you taking credit for shit that didn't happen. The generation that stood 10 toes down were the ones that got out there. Those young kids that got out there with those skateboards and on those bikes and whooped ass and took names when George Floyd was murdered out there. They showed up. They showed up well before this. So let's not do that. Let's not take credit for a wall that they tore down. They were being pepper sprayed all over the world. They were being arrested. They did what we could never do. And they didn't give a damn. They was out there night and day. Those young kids were out there with or without their parents' permission. Some of those kids were being arrested. Y'all don't remember those kids on those skateboards? And the parents didn't even know they were out there getting shit done. Ripping off the Band-Aid of injustice, staring it dead in the face, going toe to toe with police officers, being hogtied, ushered off to jail, taken safe haven in the streets of New York. People were letting the kids come. Do y'all not forget that during COVID? When people were opening their doors, when they came through with the big pepper spray trucks or whatever, and they were telling the kids, come in, come in, come in, come in, hiding the kids in their homes. Sir, if you don't sit down somewhere, those kids did that. You cannot take credit for that.
And I've been grateful to be a part of it and excited to see your stick-to-itiveness and your passion. Even when it came to having to check me, I laid down on the train tracks. Y'all came and got me. And it was well-deserved, well-served, and it was well heard. And so to be clear, as hearing from Soldier Tamika Mallory and Representative Turner and Nakima, they have every intention of moving forward. And I believe that this is the hour where Black.
I think leave it alone to just y'all ladies. You're gonna have to, there'll be another time, there'll be another opportunity as the world turns. I think this is messy. I think it's done. I think it's a wrap. It's over. You'll never be able to get this thing back together. People are about to be outside. We're planning spring break. We're taking trips. We got it. You know, it is what it is. Good effort. Good job. Unfortunately, it was a flop. And the flop has nothing to do with Target. Y'all flopped. You flopped. You fumbled. Big time. You stepped over each other's shoes. You crabs in a bucket. Envy, ego. All of that. Horrible. It's a wrap for me. I mean, if it doesn't work, go back to the table. Now, you know, moving forward, I think it's a lesson learned. I think it's an opportunity to get better. But this, you got to leave it alone. I think it's a dead horse at this point. You're not going to get what you need from Target. Nakima. Jamal Bryant, unfortunately, has made you the weakest link in all of this. You got 3 against 1. You may as well have a seat. Otherwise, you're going to come across as angry, domineering, loud. Target is not going to adhere to anything that you've asked for at all. The damage is done. The damage is done. But I think it's an opportunity. I think it's an opportunity for all. The cohesiveness has to be there. I think there's some obvious takeaways. And I think this was a heavy lift. And I think Jamal got ahead of you. I think Jamal went in first. And I think Jamal, I don't care what you say. In my opinion, I believe you secured the bag.
Money,
I
money,
do.
money, money comes to me, flowing effortlessly. Money, 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 money comes to me, comes to me, comes to me, comes to me. Money, 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 money comes to me, flowing effortlessly. Money, 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 money comes to me, comes to me, comes to me. Money, 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 money.
All right. Thank you, Donna, for the 5 piece and a pepper. She said she's too argumentative, and that is the lady that stole the money from the Black Lives Matter. Ooh, 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 not a good look. Mrs. Boss Chick 93, thank you for the 5 piece and a pepper. You says, Queen, what I don't understand is why no one would call him out until now. He's been taking the lead on this and no one said anything. That's just how we are. We do a lot of talking. We talk a lot, but there's rarely any action behind the talk. Now, here's the thing. I saw a comment that I would like to address. I don't think y'all understand when I'm saying it's too late. JME 0706 said, it's not a flop. People are not following Jamal Bryant's lead. It's a flop. Oh, it's a huge flop. When you go to a multi-billion-dollar corporation and you ask them to make good on their promise, and you have a black leader from the church, him and his homeboys that beat you to the punch and work out a deal allegedly, and those white folks close their books, it's a huge flop. You're not getting anything. I don't care if you boycott or not. The fact that they are moving full speed ahead, Target, tells you it's a flop. It's a train wreck. They're now at a point, I don't think enough of you are boycotting. I don't think the dent that they felt initially is still current to date. I think the world is open. People are moving freely about the cabin. Oh, it's a flop. It's definitely a flop, if you ask me. It's a flop from our side of the fence. Trust me. If it were not a flop, Nakima said they didn't make good. If it were not a flop, Jamal wouldn't have been in there. It's almost like, let me get off this sinking ship. But hey, you got something for me? I can go ahead and ask them to stop. It's a flop. It's done. Higher Beauty, thank you for the 2 piece and a pepper. You said sending Monday positivity on positivity your way, Queen. Much love. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, that's just me. I think it's a flop on the outside looking in. I would be peeking out my blinds as, they can never get it together. This guy, see, there's a meeting before the meeting, and there's a meeting after the meeting. And when I say it's a flop, I'm talking about the infrastructure of the Black community. It's a flop. Our foundation is shaky. It's unstable. We can't stand on one accord for Ish. The fact that he went into the meeting without the other 2 women, that's a flop to me. Now people know what we're made of. I mean, that's just my opinion. How I see it, TV says performative is the word I use for Jamal Bryant at all times. Texas Cannon said that's been a flop. I agree. Anybody else? We're opening up the lines. Feel free. We're going to pin it to the top of the chat. Feel free to come in. Let me see. I think that was it. That's basically what I wanted to hone in on. Yeah, another one bites the dust. If you ask me, in my opinion, it's done. It's a wrap. Welcome. Good morning, Trey Carter. What you got, Trey?
Good morning, Queen. I have to agree with you. It unfortunately was a flop. Now they did spend a good amount of time boycotting or not patronizing at Target, but like you said earlier, at the same time that also hurt the Black men and women business owners who were at Target. Because number one, Target is not even in generally in urban areas anyway. So people boycotting Target, it didn't make too much of a sense. And Jamal Bryant is just a big ass charlatan. He really should be ashamed of himself. How did you walk into the meeting and left the meeting with nothing and still said, well, we just going to end it. We just going to end it. That's a flop to me. I'm sorry. It failed. It really did. Y'all really didn't do what y'all thought y'all was doing. And I really just feel bad for that young lady, the two young ladies that started it, especially the one that was over there going back and forth with Roland Martin, because his Roland poll himself, he loves to argue. It don't matter who on his show, and he likes to gaslight. But I can tell by the way that she was responding, there may have been a reason why Jamal Bryant said, well, we're not going to bring her into the meeting. No way. Because he gives that energy of, oh, well, this person doesn't give what I need for them to give to be in this meeting, so we're not going to include them. So there might have been another reason why he said, I don't want them people in this meeting that I started. But yeah, I agree
I
with
have a
you.
question for you before I go to the next caller. When you said he walked away with nothing, do you really believe he walked away with nothing?
When I say walk away with nothing, I mean as far as what he's presenting to us that Target claimed or pledged. They ain't gave no money yet, but all of a sudden I'm gonna stand in front of Target's logo and tell everybody that the boycott is over, even though quote unquote I actually mean the fast, which the fast was nothing but all of it. It's just a bunch of BS. Like, why didn't you, if you were really excuse me, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Hold that thought.
If you really wanted to be a part of something, why didn't you just join in a part with the boycott? Why did you have to specifically create some subsect in the boycott and say, well, we're doing a fast? Like you said, it's just all a bunch of BS to take over and come in the room and suck all the air out the room. So to make yourself the primary focus rather than the actual movement.
All right. That's fair. Let me go to the next caller. Ann, welcome. What are your thoughts? Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Queen and Chad. Hey, just a quick comment, sort of in support of Nikema. So if I'm not mistaken, Nikema lives in Minnesota. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So when you think about it from this angle, Target is based in Minneapolis, downtown. They have over 400,000 employees. Across Minnesota, they have close to 40,000 employees. And downtown, they have 10,000 employees that work for Target in their downtown offices. As an employer with that size, in a way, they owe their community some sort of support. So although they changed management, I still think it was in their best interest to show that support, whether it's monetarily, being activists for them, but they pulled out. And that is the reason I think Nikema is so passionate about it. I know y'all all saying that she was rude, but she was passionate. We would give any other race a pass if they were passionate. We wouldn't call them aggressive. But I think, and for that reason, I can show support for her. Not necessarily, I don't know if I'm in agreement or disagreement with the boycott across Target, but I understand why people in Minnesota, in particular, Minneapolis, feel that passionate about it because they work for Target, likely. They have relatives that work for Target. Those people had to experience that death. They had to go through protests. It was probably high tension in the city, and they had to carry that all into work. So in that sense, I feel that Target does owe that community something. And that's why Nikema is so passionate about it. So those are my thoughts.
All right. Thank you, Ann. We appreciate you sharing.
Yep.
All right. That's Ann. She's given a different take. She said, listen, I can appreciate the passion. And maybe it's because it hits so close to home for her. She's there. People she knows may work for them. And that's why we feel like Target owe us something. I just, I just can't get with somebody owing me something because I say they do. People renege every day. Walmart reneged. If you look at one of the comments that came in, How I See a TV, a lot of corporations, y'all, backed up out of that thing. How I See a TV says Walmart promised more than Target. And I don't get how Target got all the smoke. Walmart committed $150 million to help establish centers for racial equity. That went out the window when they ended DEI. Why Target? Tech Talk with Darius. We thank you for the $5 super chat. Darius says it wasn't a flop. Target lost $20 billion in shareholder value. Also, they had to rebrand with the new CEO. So the boycott was successful partly. I have to give you credit where credit is due. In that aspect, yes. We put a dent in their bottom dollar in that aspect. But on the flip side, us coming together, remaining cohesive, crossing the finish line, getting the signature on the dotted line to make sure that we leave with what we came for, that's a flop. I think Jamal walked away with what Jamal needed. That's a flop. And which is why he came out and put his chest out, called a press conference on his own solo and said it's over. That's a flop.
Queen,
Mm-hmm.
can I ask a question, to be honest?
Absolutely.
And I don't want to sound like I'm coming against my people, but was the boycott the reason that the $20 billion shareholders was lost in value, or was it mainly because of the economy?
You know what? That's a good question.
It almost kind of reminds me of, like you've been talking about here recently, how they're using the 300,000 black women losing their jobs, conflating all of the different reasons as to why some women lost their jobs and some women actually decided to leave. 20 billion. I'm sorry. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand that we have buying power, but at the same time, we're not a big enough demographic to make a real dent like that. If we're being honest with ourselves.
No, so it wasn't because of us. Actually, Target had closed down many stores.
The economy was just bad. Yeah, the economy was just bad.
Yes, because of COVID. But let's see.
Not taking away from anything. You know, I understand. I'm sure that we made some type of, slight impact, but not really. Target has always been on the higher side when it comes to the prices of their products.
Okay,
the
so
black
it says
community
Target
normally
lost.
shops at Walmart anyway.
It says so. It's not talking about black folks. It's actually giving credit to the LGBTQ friendly. Okay, so it says Target lost
And that,
approximately, huh?
I said, and that too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay, so Target lost approximately $10 billion in market valuation in May of 2023, following intense backlash to its 2023 Pride Month collection. The controversy which involved boycotts and confrontation at stores, resulted in a swift 20% drop in stock price over roughly 10 days, driven by customer complaints regarding the product lineup. So it seems like the LGBTQ community came in and did in 10 days what we couldn't do in a year. That's all I'm saying. They account for $10 billion that Target lost in actually a 20% drop in stock. But according to the stats, it's saying 2023, it was due to the backlash to its 2023 Pride Month collection that Target established like an introduction to LGBTQ friendly clothing, particularly items marketed to. See, here's some more backstory. Target started to introduce LGBTQ friendly clothing, particularly geared towards children. The consumers didn't like it. They united. They spoke, and Target faced an intense backlash from some shoppers, as noted by the New York Post. And if you go back and you look at that article, they lost $10 billion in 10 days because of their push towards kids and the clothing that they introduced towards kids. So it sounds like parents had a huge problem with that. And as a result, their market valuation over 10 days. So from, I believe it was May 18th, 2023 to May 28th, they got their ass handed to them. Target
and
stock was valued at, they said, $160.96 a share, and it dropped to $138. A 14% drop in value for the blue chip stock roughly translates to $10.1 billion loss in valuation to just $64.2 billion for Target, which has nearly, which has nearly 2,000 stores nationwide. So half of that number that you're placing in the chat has nothing to do with us. Then you have to think of the store closures. But that was a great question, Trey. Continue.
And we have to also admit that a majority of the LGBTQIA plus are white and white adjacent. So when you're dealing with the white folks, yeah, you're going to see a change. And I'm not saying that, and I'm not trying to say that, you know, Black people's dollar doesn't make any change or anything like that. It's just not that big of a dent to Target. I just believe specifically.
And here's the thing. So do y'all not remember the video? Damn, I wish I could find that video. I showcased it on a Wednesday morning corporate segment of why Target rolled back its DEI initiatives. And a Black man actually gave us the reason why. We're not getting the details of why. All we know is, they don't want to hang out with Black people. And I think it's important for you to have all of the facts and not just jump in because you hear the word Black. I think it's so important for you not to go for the low-hanging fruit. Black? Oh, that's me. What happened? No. Listen, ask questions, and then make an informed opinion. Many months ago, and I'm going to look for the video when I hand the mic to Trey. Target came out, the gentleman, I can't remember his name, came out and explained what was happening. Target allotted a huge portion of their shelf space for Black-owned businesses, okay? Committed to that. What happened is when they opened up the shelf spaces, they quickly found out that many Black-owned businesses did not have the business acumen that they thought they did. And they quickly found out that they were in trouble. The products were not selling at the speed and the rate that they needed to sell. They quickly found out that many Black-owned businesses did not have solid business plans in place, solid marketing promotions, a marketing strategy in place, solid partnerships in place outside of, can you just let me put my stuff on your shelf? As a result of the merchandise and the product not moving, not only did Target lose money, but also the Black business owners. So Target had to make an executive decision. Do we let this stuff stay here because Black people designed it, or because it's a Black product and it's not selling? Or do we take it off the shelf and replace it with something else that can generate revenue? Here's the problem. So they made an executive decision. I'm just giving you information, right? It's neither here nor there to me because I didn't have any products in Target, but I need you to have a little bit more of the backstory. So they made an executive decision in a lot of situations. And what happened is they also found, this guy, I have to find the video. He came back and they had a meeting with, this is not a boycott, right? We're talking business outside of what Jamal and Tamika Mallory and all of them are doing. They came back and had a meeting with Target and said, okay, thank you for sharing your findings. This is from their business analyst, y'all. Thank you for sharing your findings with us. Is there anything you can do to help us bring these Black business owners up to speed? Can you give them business courses? Can you help with this? And Target said, enough is enough. This is the truth. Thank you, Joanna. You said that's true. Target said, enough is enough. This is a real meeting. I'm going to go and find it. Target said, wait a minute. Now you're asking too much. We allocated the shelf space. We did the marketing and the promotion. We did that for free because they didn't have anything. They don't have a roadmap. They don't have a business strategy. And now you're asking us to develop a business academy to teach these people how to do business. We don't have the resources. We don't have the funds, and we cannot take that kind of hit. Absolutely not. That's just, it's so important to have more information. Take what you need and discard the rest. But I can't sit up here and withhold that from you and let you all and release you to move freely about the cabin. And you don't have that information. I'm going to go on mute and try to find a video.
While she's looking, if y'all could, we got 367 likes and it's 615 of y'all in the chat. So first of all, can a little bit under half of y'all go over there to that like button and press that, share and subscribe. Let everybody know that we are in the palace this morning. It's very early, but we are here. But I just want to piggyback off of Queen, because when we talk about like Black businesses that are working through Target, we also have to remember that like we don't even have Black manufacturers. So for it's nice that they're asking for HBCUs and all this other kind of stuff. But if we're boycotting for inanimate objects and products, why don't we build towards having our own, so where we can make these products and as well as sell them? And when it comes to this pastor Jamal Bryant, I think what really irritated me the most about all of this was him trying to compare this to the Montgomery bus boycott. It put a bad taste in my mouth, because the way that we came together and we actually worked to pivot from the bus route, because we could not get jobs in bus work, as well as they had us sit in the back of the bus. We pivoted to make a way. We thank you for that list of Black businesses that we can go to, but when you're already kind of suspicious, I don't know if I want to patronize these businesses that you're giving us a list to. It's just weird. I don't know. And even with those businesses, they're a lot of them are more than likely having white manufacturers to make these things. So I don't know. I just feel like this boycott or this movement could have been handled a lot better. And I don't think that it necessarily needed Jamal Bryant as the head of it, or Tamika Mallory for that matter. They have a lot going on already.
And I haven't found it yet, but I agree with you, because I believe sometimes slow and steady wins the race. And I think, Jamal, I'm going to be honest, I think it was something out there that was very attractive to you. I don't know what that shiny object is, but I think it comes with a dollar sign in front of it. I do. Nobody can make me believe otherwise. I just don't see a man like you wasting your time to do anything free on the behalf of the Black community. You yourself said when you started off your apology that you were disconnected. You didn't read the room. You had no idea what we wanted. So I don't see you doing anything as it relates to walking away and just tithing your airline seat on the behalf of a Black community that you are not in direct contact with. I believe there was something that you wanted. I think you were able to walk away with it. What it is, I'm not sure. And I believe you when you sat there and you said, the play on words is, I did not receive a dime, which is why I heavily emphasize yet. I did not receive yet my church. Okay, yet. And I think that is the truth in that moment. It's no different than Stacey from the Real Housewives of Potomac when Giselle said the previous years, do you have a cannabis line? She says, I do not have a cannabis business. And the next year she said, because it wasn't a reality yet, but I have one now. So she was technically telling the truth. Trey, what are your thoughts?
Listen, Queen, somebody got a check. Somebody got a check. He didn't name everybody in his life. One of them kids got a check, and they named, and they just put it over there. He got about 15 kids. Somebody got a check. One of them deacons got a check. The church might not have gotten any tithes and offerings, but somebody got some money to shut him up. Because ain't no way in hell he gonna get on the internet and tell everybody that the stuff is over with. He just made this decision off of what? They didn't give you anything that you said that they were giving you. And if they did, we don't have any type of receipt, any type of PowerPoint presentation. He gave us nothing but empty promises, just like Target gave them.
And I just want to say that Target is a very I don't go to Target. There's no need for me to. Listen, I know what the value of a dollar. I recognized a long time ago. I discovered, listen, Target, me and you, because you just charging shit just to be charging it. Period. Your stuff over here, your Clorox is $6, and I can go over here and get it for $3 from HEB. No, thank you. And that's just my relationship with Target. But Target is a very well-oiled machine when it comes to business. They know how to do business. They're solid in business. And I saw somebody say Jamal Bryant lost her deal with Target. And I believe that's what this person is saying. I think it's because of poor business practices. They are a very well-oiled machine when it comes to business. So let me just tell you, they're not having meetings with you, having meetings with you just to be having meetings. If they're having meetings about business and boycotting and bottom dollars and $2.1 billion and 100 million here and 100 million there, here's a dollar everywhere, somebody got something, in my opinion.
Yeah, I believe that. I will say, just to clear that up with Giselle, that Every Hue Beauty, I think it lost, they closed down because of the manufacturer after COVID. Something happened with the manufacturer. I think the manufacturer closed down, and she just couldn't find one, I guess another one for her that she felt comfortable with. So that's why that ended. But y'all did have Tabitha Brown over there at Target scrambling and scrunching and trying to figure out what was going to happen because y'all weren't buying her air fryers no more because y'all was boycotting Target. But
even that, if you think about that, when I say that's another example, and they didn't call out Tabitha Brown when they were saying they did the research, and the Black people were not prepared to run businesses outside of, hey, I have some seasoning. Hey, I got a hat. Hey, I do t-shirts. Hey, I have this body oil. Okay, but what's the market strategy? You know, what's this? We couldn't answer those questions. And I think Tabitha Brown is a perfect example of that because she did not have her next action steps lined up for if and when the product cannot sell and it starts to age. What are the next steps? She did not have any next steps in place. She did not have a roadmap for what ifs, any contingencies. Does that make sense? And that's a perfect example of us not being primed to do business, us not being able to market our product and have backup, for lack of a better word.
I agree. And I really I feel like Jamal, this is why it was a flop to me, because instead of ending the boycott, why would you end the boycott if you already know that us as a people in general are very fixated on our convenience? It's already hard enough for the Black businesses and for Black people, like somebody was saying in the comments, it's already hard enough for Black businesses because we generally have to charge more to keep ourselves afloat. And it's like, why would you not continue on with this boycott so that we could move or at least show that we're moving to a place where we're wanting to consistently support these Black businesses so that our own culture and our own community can grow? What is the point of ending the boycott? There is no other reason other than you got paid.
Thank you. And it kind of reminds me of a barbecue or like a Thanksgiving dinner. And Trey, you got a little bit of feedback on your mic. I'm going to ask you to mute up and then come off. I'm going to mute. Have you ever seen somebody, they've eaten at the party, whether it's a party, Thanksgiving, and then they make a to-go plate? And the to-go plate is almost to feed their family, but they take so much to where somebody's not going to be able to have a to-go plate. You'd be like, dang, when I said to go, I didn't mean take everything. And that's kind of what I feel like has happened behind the scenes. I think Jamal Bryant got what he needed, and the rest, the girls got to get it how they get it. And he's out of there. Yeah, I can call it off. To me, there had to have been an incentive for you to take publicly to a press conference, sit in front of their logo. You can't take this away. This will forever go down in history and say the boycott is over. There had to have been an incentive in place, and you really don't care, which tells me it was lucrative enough for you to take that risk, for you to take the backlash. Let me tell you something. The price was right. I don't think Jamal gives a damn about coming out to have to apologize. If I walked away with millions of dollars, you think I give a damn about apologizing? When I got me a little good nest egg that I can even retire probably. We did the math over here. 2.1 billion. 1% of that is 20 million. Hell, 0.5% of that is 10 million. You can't tell me you did all of that for free. And if so, something is wrong with you. I will recommend a psychological assessment immediately. If you did that for free, just because you can and you will, that doesn't make any sense to me. What are your thoughts?
I agree. It makes no sense to me that that a pastor now just calling it what it is. A lot of these pastors, they're money first, and he comes off as one of those that are money first. So it makes no sense that he would be doing this for free and ending it for free. It makes no sense whatsoever. We don't even know the HBCU that they supposed to be helping. Not one. He hasn't given us any information.
None. The pilot programs, not even the name of the HBCU. That means that's a deal you worked out. If you have Nakima saying no, as for me and Target, we've made no progress, and Jamal said, here's what's happening. That's a side deal you worked out, sir. If you ask me.
I agree with you.
Yeah, if you ask me. That's all I'm saying. I'm really trying to find this video snippet. Let's see if I can find it. Wow. I think that's all we got for now. I don't want to drag it on while I look for a video.
Yeah, I think we got our fill of Jamal Bryant and his foolishness. He'll be back with something
Oh, I
else.
forgot about EJ Johnson. Oh my God. We
oh my
hung
God.
out so long with Jamal. I forgot about EJ. Let's do EJ real quick. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's see. Let me pull up EJ. Give me 1 second, everybody. Now, EJ ran me hot. I think we're becoming a little bit too liberal for my taste. And when I say liberal, I'm not necessarily talking about politics. What I'm saying, everybody is out here doing whatever the hell they want to do, when they want to do it, how they want to do it, to the point that it's grossly disrespectful. I'm still old school, where I believe respect you give to your parents. Let's see if I can pull up this clip. Yeah, here we go. Let's take a look at what EJ Johnson had to say when he declared Magic Johnson's son is dead. I'm only responsible for myself. Can I say that pissed me off? That pissed me off. Let's take a look. Jamal done got us. Jamal done ticked us off over here. Hold on. We forgot we had another person to cover. But yeah, EJ Johnson, EJ King, Magic Johnson's son, denounced being his father's son. He's denounced his family. And it was pretty gross, if you ask me. I don't know what this world is coming to. I don't know the background of why he would say something like this, but let's just take a listen.
Y'all hit the like button while we waiting here. And shout out to the mods, Linda Gamble. We appreciate you for being here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now,
Here
when
we
he said
go.
okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Let's flow.
No, I'm just wondering if he gave up the family, did he give up the money?
Exactly. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. DG said, did he denounce that inheritance though? That's a good question. Inquiring minds want to ask. Here we go. See, I don't play with kids like that, where I'll allow a child, even an adult child, to disrespect me that level publicly. I think there's a level of arrogance that's almost kind of sick. And EJ, I'm looking at you crazy. Maybe that interview was not the best thing you should have done. But here we go. Nonetheless. Come on, StreamYard. All right.
It's very difficult to be born in someone's shadow. It really is. No one talks about that. It is very difficult to come into the world and whoever the spotlight is on. Yeah. And that was very difficult to navigate as a child. And even as a young adult, honestly, it was weird. It definitely took a lot of time to just like find myself in all of that. And then just be like, hey, your spotlight is over here and mine is over here. And like the only thing I have to do in this lifetime is focus and nurture me. And you do that over there. I was always just running around, prancing around in skirts and doing the most as a kid. And I found a lot of security just like hanging out with myself.
When did you realize you were gay?
Pretty early on, honestly. I wasn't one of those people who ever tried to be straight. Definitely like 11, 12.
The first person you told was your mother, correct?
No.
In terms of family.
Friends. Definitely my friends.
Yeah.
But no, my mom interrogated me when I was like in 10th grade.
Do you remember what she was asking you?
We were on vacation in Hawaii and I had another friend who came with me and he's also gay. We were just checking all the hot guys. We were doing what the girls do. They were everywhere and we were, talking and looking and she noticed. And then she was like, I think this is probably something we should talk about. What's going on? And I was like, well, I think this is it. This is what I like. She was like fine in the beginning, but then I think it took her some time after that. She had her church. So it was like a lot of going against what she had been taught. For both of them, it was that kind of a struggle because they were not people that know how to think outside the box. They're very strongly, this is this.
Wow. So these are just country bumpkins that don't know how to think outside the box to the point that your dad is a bona fide billionaire. But okay.
And that's that in a lot of boxes. And so I really came up against all of that. To be honest, like I never saw anything wrong with it. Like, even when I was a kid and like they were like, well, you can't wear skirts. And I was like, well, why not? There's nothing wrong with this, especially if I look cuter than any girl does. Like, what's the problem? I'm killing a dress and no one else is. Like the girls in the room are not doing it. They don't look cute. They're not dressed to any nines. So yeah.
I love it. Did you ever feel like the image you had to uphold being the namesake of your dad?
I think that's what they tried to teach me. I was raised to believe that, but especially now I'm free of all of that. I've totally ripped myself away from anyone's namesake besides my own. EJ Johnson specifically is the only person that I'm fully responsible for and fully looking out for. That has given me so much peace. You have no idea. I told them on my birthday in June, we're not doing he, we're not doing man, we're not doing gay. And it was very freeing. It was very easy because I just told them flat out, this is who I am and this is how we're moving and grooving and going forward. And even like son, I was like, the world tried to give me that label, like Magic Johnson's son. And I was like, well, he's dead. And now there's Miss Thing. We're not doing that either. So they were like, oh, okay. We'll do our best to understand that. It's very difficult to be born in some.
Wow. I'm going to let you have this one. Go ahead. Trey.
Well, it really does verify some of the things that I have thought about EJ when we were speaking about him yesterday, and even when I was speaking to some of my friends. There is a lot of hurt in where he's at, as far as from his parents and his family and all of that. So while I understand that, it's still just odd, just this idea that I'm gonna remove myself from my family, but not from the money. And this idea, also this idea that I'm taking myself away from this person, and the first thing that I do as my own or to make a name for myself is fight with my biological sister over a man on national television. Like what are we doing? And none of this, and you know, him finding himself, okay, clap, 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 we get it. That still doesn't take away from all the foolishness of him being predator-like, searching for these men and competing with women for straight men. I'm sorry, I haven't gotten over that yet. So him coming into his own and this he, she, me, I don't want to be called this, that, and the third. I really don't care. Sir, we need to get to the root of the problem. And I said what I said.
There's a lot to unpack here. Number one, when I saw the caption, I thought there's no way this child, adult child of this family, there's no way. There has to be a misunderstanding, a misquote that he would say that EJ, Magic Johnson's son, EJ, and Trey, mute up for me. He's
I'm
dead.
sorry.
Yeah, he's dead to me. And I'm only responsible for myself. I thought there's no way this, you know, sometimes it can be clickbaitish. I click on the video, and this is the part that I'm going to play the video second, where we break it down in real time together. I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
It's very difficult to be born in someone's shadow. It really is. No one talks about that. It is very difficult to come into the world, and what you want doesn't really matter because it really only matters what plays well for whoever the spotlight is.
So it sounds like he detests being born to his mom and dad, because you're not being born in their shadow. You're being born as a child that they welcome into the world, a child they could have terminated. Your father is not your shadow. Your mother is not your shadow. They are your parents. So for me, what this establishes, at some point in time, at a very young age, I believe there's a chance that EJ didn't see his parents as his parents. He may have begun to see them as a nuisance. Why? I'm not sure.
Us on. And that was very difficult to navigate as a child. And even as a young adult, honestly, it was weird. It definitely took a lot of time to just like find myself in all of that. And then just be like, hey, your spotlight is over here and mine is over here. And like,
Okay. He's here in this moment. What he's doing is he's identifying me versus them. That's your life. That's your spotlight. And I got to figure out a way to put myself front and center.
Queen.
It seems from an early age, he adopted a competitive stance. Go ahead, Trey.
I think the main crux of it all is that he was born a boy. If he was born a girl, I don't think that he would have, with the same mindset of believing that he is a woman or wanting to compete with women, I don't think that he would be necessarily mad at his father. Because as a boy, we're looking at him as EJ Johnson, the son of. We're waiting for him to be the next basketball star. So that there's a lot in that too, I believe.
Okay, that's fair. Let me play it a little bit more, and you all tell me what you think. Aisha says, I agree with Trey. Give me 1 second, because I think it's important for me to introduce a different dynamic so that you can have a full view. Let's see if I can get it here on the screen. But even if Trey, so here's the thing. Trey makes a good point. You introduce a different element into the conversation, right? But I also feel as if EJ was very savvy enough to not touch that, to steer clear away from that so no one could pinpoint that. Does that make sense? That's your takeaway. But I think he did I think it's an evil genius. I'm not going to say that I'm mad at that I'm a boy. I'll let you say it. Then I can argue with you and go back and forth. But that's not what I said. And anybody that says that, I can deny it. But you're saying that's what it's giving. So I can't find what I'm looking for, but let me go ahead and
Yeah,
play the rest.
I definitely think it's part of
Okay.
it.
The only thing I have to do in this lifetime is focus and nurture me, and you do that over there.
Oh, that's pretty cold. Only thing I have to do is focus on me. I don't have to focus on you as my sister. I don't have to focus on you as my mom. I don't have to focus on you as my father. That would scare me as a parent. That would bring me great concern as I begin to age, because money is money, right? But your health and your wealth is your health. I mean, I'm sorry, your health is your health. A child like that would put you in a nursing home and wait for you to die so they could cash out. I would reformat my will. I would take him as his word. Maya Angelou says, when people show you who they are, you believe them. I believe you when you show me. I'm one of those people. I don't give a damn who you are. I believe you. I'm not saying he's a bad kid, but I hear you loud and clear. Okay. You have said publicly, your job is to focus on you, and you stay over there. Okay. Let's continue.
Was always just running around, prancing around in skirts and doing the most as a kid. And I found a lot of security just like hanging out with myself.
When did you realize you were gay?
Pretty early on, honestly. I wasn't one of those people who ever tried to be straight. Definitely like 11, 12.
The first person you told was your mother, correct?
No.
In terms
my
of family.
Friends. Definitely my friends.
Yeah.
But no, my mom interrogated me when I was like in.
So he didn't say my mom sat down. I don't think your mom could do any right, and neither can your sister. I don't really know what's going on with EJ, but I think he's developed a level of egotism and superiority to protect his insecurities for whatever reason. I don't think your mom could have said it, even if she said it nicely. I think you've made her your op, and you use words like interrogated me. You're purposely inviting your gay friend on a trip. You didn't have a conversation with your mom about who you are and what you like. And you, on a trip, parade your friend around in front of your mom while you're flirting with cute boys. This is her first time, right? She probably has suspicions, but whatever. But now you're being a bit arrogant, a bit sloppy, a bit daring, a bit bold, ripping off the Band-Aid out of spite. And she sits you down to talk, and you say, she interrogated me. You acting a fool out here on vacation. I don't give a damn if you straight or gay. It ain't no different if I had a daughter that's acting a fool and doing the most on vacation. This deserves a freaking conversation. Let's see.
In 10th grade.
Do you remember what she was asking you?
We were on vacation in Hawaii, and I had another friend who came with me, and he's also gay. We were just checking all the hot guys. We were doing what the girls do. They were everywhere, and we were, talking and looking, and she noticed. And then she was like, I think this is probably something we should talk about. What's going on? And I was like, well, I think this is it. This is what I like. She was like fine in the beginning, but then I think it took her some time after that. She had her church, so it was like a lot of going against what she had been taught. For both of them, it was that kind of a struggle because they were not people that know how to think outside the box.
I beg to differ. Your dad is a billionaire. That requires a heavy, heavy deal, a lifting of thinking outside the box. What are your thoughts, Trey?
I want to be, I want to say something, but I don't want to sound disrespectful. But
just say it, but clean it up.
So I believe that your parents know about you. That your mama knows because your mama was around. Your father was always here and there, but your mother was always around. So this whole interrogating, she knew. She just wanted to check because number one, EJ was the big kid. He was not. He wasn't wearing his mama's skirts. He wasn't wearing his sister's skirts. He was out there buying these clothes. So I'm pretty sure his mama knew what was in his closet. I can only assume. And then he's wearing them out and about. I feel like he struggled with all of that. I don't know. I find it odd that you want to claim that I'm focusing on myself and on this and the third, but you're still living under their paycheck
Mm.
and disrespecting them in that at the same time. It's weird.
It sounds like they can do no right in my eyes. They've accepted it. They're funding the lifestyle. You have their support and you're still poking. Okay, now your son is dead. How about that? What about now? Because I'm up right now. Okay, you still love me? Well, you know what? Your life is over there. Mine is over here. I don't think they'll ever be able to do any right. I think EJ gets off on poking people. Hence the reason he said, I started, the television show. Me and my sister were competing for the same guy. That's the reason I got the show. I led with that storyline. And he smiled and he smirked. And then he goes on to say, you know what? Now that I think about it, I really don't like the gay community neither. That's not really my kind. I like straight guys. I like guys that have been up with women up to the point that they've met me. I think EJ likes to poke for whatever reason.
Are very strongly this is this and that's that in a lot of boxes. And so I really came up against all of that. To be honest, I never saw anything wrong with it. Even when I was a kid and they were like, well, you can't wear skirts. And I was like, well, why not? There's nothing wrong with this, especially if I look cuter than any girl does. Like, what's the problem? I'm killing a dress and no one else is. Like the girls.
That's not why you put on a skirt. You didn't put on a skirt because you're killing a dress and no one else is. They were trying to teach you decorum at an early age at 10 or 11. They were trying to protect you from being bullied. They were trying to introduce, but here's the thing. So let's go back to it. You're absolutely right. If at 10 or 11, you're putting on skirts, and we can assume you're probably 5'8", right? In the 5th grade, maybe 6 feet tall. I don't know. Very tall, 10 or 11. They're trying to decipher. No, they're trying to intercept negative attention, not because they don't accept you, but they understand probably how cruel the world can be. Your dad's been there. He was diagnosed with AIDS, HIV, to which he says he's been healed. So he understands public backlash. He understands being ostracized. He understands the repercussion of whatever it is, right? So then you take that behavior at age 10 or 11, and then you move forward to Hawaii, 10th grade. I think your mom knew, but I think you wanted to exploit that. I think you wanted to embarrass her for whatever reason. And I think it has nothing to do with your sexual orientation. I think EJ has a grudge. I think EJ has seen and done some things in the home. And I think EJ's mad at his entire family.
I can agree. I believe that EJ being born with a silver spoon in his mouth gave him access and a level of ego to where he can feel like he's Regina George. He is the mean girl, and that's why it's easier for him to navigate through life the way that he wants to, because he can turn whatever circumstance he may feel or he can use being gay as a victimhood, and he can use that against his parents. He can use that against his siblings. He can use that against anyone that tries to come against him for wearing a skirt. I fully believe that he has a very manipulative self about him.
That's a good word. Thank you. That's the word I think I was searching for. Let's continue.
Girls in the room are not doing it. They don't look cute. They're not dressed to any nine. So, yeah.
I love it. Do you ever feel like the image you have to uphold being the namesake of your dad?
I think that's what they tried to teach me. I was raised to believe that, but especially now, I'm free of all of that. I've totally ripped myself away from anyone's namesake besides my own. EJ Johnson specifically is the only person that I'm fully responsible for and fully looking out for. That has given me so much peace. You have no idea. I told them on my birthday in June, we're not doing he, we're not doing man, we're not doing gay. And it was very freeing. It was very easy because I just like.
Now imagine the ambush. We're coming to celebrate you on your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear GEJ. Happy birthday to you. We can assume Magic Son, I love you. Da 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 da. Happy birthday. And you came with a word to deliver a word. Hey, we're not doing son. We're not doing man. We're not doing him. What? Of course we're not. We love you the way you are. Are we still here at your big age? EJ likes to poke. EJ is a shit starter. EJ likes to ruin moments. Why would you be having that conversation with your parents at your age on your birthday?
Just told them flat out, this is who I am and this is how we're moving and grooving and going forward. And even like son, I was like, the world tried to give me that label, like Magic Johnson's son. And I was like, well, he's dead. And now there is Miss Thing.
Why would you do that on your birthday? For no reason.
Because he has a big ego.
Doing that either.
And I can,
Hold on.
oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Because he has a big ego and he likes to be the main subject in the room, and when better to do that than on your birthday. Now I wasn't there, but I fully believe that this was a birthday that happened when his ego was fully realized after he lost all that weight. I feel like he lost that weight and he really started to feel himself, and that's when he decided, okay, well, I don't want to be called this, that, and the third, and I'm gonna let them know when I feel like it. It's all a part of that manipulation, and it shows in the way that he navigates his romantic life, which we kind of discussed yesterday.
All right, here we go.
So they were like, oh, okay, we'll do our best to understand that. It's very difficult to be born in someone's shadow. It really is. No one talks about that. It is very.
But you've never said that your parents have given you a hard time, that your parents have never accepted you. I think EJ is full of it. I think he's a spoiled brat. I think it's wrong the way you're treating your parents. I think they've given you more than enough. And I think if EJ Johnson is dead, then leave Magic Johnson's money alone. Stand on your own. And for me, I'm just saying, as a parent, I hear you. I'm not saying I wouldn't leave you anything, but you damn sure would not get a bulk of it if I can't trust you to take care of me. If you see this family as you over here and us over there, okay, you're going to have to stand on that. You're going to have to stand on that. If I can't trust you in my older age to come and see me, make sure I'm good, you're going to put me aside, toss me aside. Listen to people when they talk. I don't give a damn if it is your children. Yes, we want the best for them. Yeah, but listen, enough of making excuses. Oh, well, that's not what he really meant. Well, you damn sure don't want to wait to 80 to find out. You damn sure don't want to wait to 80 to find out. I had a neighbor that passed away in his home and nobody knew it. And I was probably one of the only people that went to look for him because he used to come by my home every day to say hi. Or I would see him go into the store every single day. They kind of do the same stuff over and over. He actually invented cybersecurity, believe it or not. He has all of the patents on his wall, and his daughter wanted to give them to me, to which I politely declined. I'm not going to say his name or anything like that, okay? He owned homes in Italy, penthouse in Boston, but lived here in Texas. I did not know how rich this man was. I had no idea who he was. Okay. When I tell you custom Italian hardwood floors, daughter offered me a piece of art. I am still kicking myself in the butt to this day. I did not recognize the value of the art piece that she offered. And I, out of pride, said, no, thank you. Lord have mercy. I should have took that art and auctioned it off. But anywho, make a long story short, he would come by and give me lemons from his tree, whatever. The man ended up dying. And I noticed he wasn't driving by every day. I would ask my husband, have you seen, he's like, no, I haven't. I went over there. I knocked on the door. Okay. I knocked on the door, but I thought, well, maybe he's whatever. And I would go by every day. Make a long story short, it's about 5 to 7 days. I knew he had a daughter. I knew he only had one child in this world. Didn't know her name. The 5th or the 7th day, I saw an ambulance outside his home and I stopped and I saw the police. I said, is Mr. So-and-so okay? And they looked at me. They said, yes, yeah. I said, he is? They go, yeah. So, they left. I kept going by. I didn't see his car. Another time in his driveway, I stopped. At this point, I'm like, somebody's BSing me. Now, who is this in his home? So I bang on the front door. 2 people opened the door. It was a really tall good looking white guy that looked like maybe he was a Navy SEAL or a CIA agent, and a petite blonde woman. And I said, where is, and I says his name, and they go, who are you? I said, well, who are you? Where is, and I said his name. They go, he passed away. I go, are you kidding me? I said, I'm his neighbor. I told him my name. She starts crying. She goes, oh, I'm his daughter. I knew you were his friend. I couldn't reach you. I hadn't been able to talk to my father in 5 to 7 days. I knew he had a friend named, I just didn't have your number. He passed away. He was in the home with my mom. His mom, it was 2 people, and he passed away. His wife had dementia. Okay. She was very concerned for her father. She stayed here a number of days, maybe 2 weeks. I got her in touch with the realtor that she can sell the home. We held some items for them until they could fly back and forth to Boston and then come back and make arrangements for that. She put her mom in a nursing home here and left and never came back. I'm going to tell you what she said. Her mom has dementia. Do you want to know what she said? And I'm not judging, but I'm telling you, you better know your kids. She said that bitch killed him. How dare she? Him taking care of her put stress on him. I told him to put her away. I said, would you like for me to go see your mom on a holiday? She said, no. 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 Why would you say that and share that story? EJ Johnson, y'all over here, I'm over here. That's the type. And this woman has access to all of her father's money and gave the house away in Italy to one of his cousins. She didn't want the house in Italy. That's how much money we're talking. Lots of money. Lock her up. I said, would you like for me to? I don't know. The place is around the corner. I don't mind, every now and then to check to make sure they're treated. Nope. You don't have to. What are your thoughts, Trey?
Yeah, I agree with you, Queen. He definitely gives. I'm waiting on my parents to croak so I can continue living a life of a bad bitch. But when it comes to EJ, and I'm gonna say this, and I have to drop down really quickly. But EJ, you, it's never too late to change the tide. I understand that people are late bloomers, and I feel like he's a late bloomer. But you're kind of too old to be trying to walk around here and act like Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie from the early 2000s. Like that, this whole mean girl manipulation shit, it's not cool. You need to rectify whatever it is you got going on with your parents, and make it right. And I said what I said. Did y'all hear me? Did you hear me, Queen?
Okay. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got kicked out. Were you able to finish your thought?
Yes, I was.
Okay. All right. They're saying good point. I'm not sure what you said, but they're saying good point. Good point. But listen, that's it. That's all.
Right.
And Trey, I know
Basically,
you
I said he had to. I just told him to stop acting like a mean girl and make it right with his parents.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
It's not, but it never hurts to request. but thank you, Queen.
Well, thank you, Trey, for coming up. Thank you so much. Trey's gonna drop down, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the rest of the show. It happens in real life, and I'm not saying this to create a divide between you and your children, but I'm saying as you begin to age, listen very carefully what they're saying, listen to their thoughts, and make adjustments accordingly. Bliss says dementia is a beast to manage. Love and respect is important. Listen, I had to keep a straight face. I had to keep a straight face. Okay. I was like, whoa, but it's not my business. But it gave me more insight of the world and how the world works. And as the world turns, just where people stand. We have one caller. I'm going to bring them up really quick. I was about to end, but listen, Welcome. Hold on. Let's see. Luxuriate. Yeah. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let's see if we can get you up here.
Luxuriating.
Yeah. Welcome, luxuriating. What are your thoughts before we wrap up? Uh oh.
But I got enough info to do. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You keep going in and out, but go ahead. Start over for me.
Okay. Okay. Um, I came in on the tail end of you guys talking about EJ Johnson, but I got enough information to I looked at his birth chart or whatever, but yeah, I feel like it's really crazy that he would be battling or feel like he's in competition with his sister and his mom. But I think because he was bigger, my conclusion is like it's one thing to be gay, but if you're fat and gay, it's like it's a double whammy. I hate to say that, but it's like, I've always been skinny my whole life, but I would imagine that's a double whammy. So I think it's a lot of insecurities. And no matter how much weight he loses, he'll still be the insecure fat boy. And honestly, I think the life that he was living, the E Network show he was on, it was on, but it really didn't make waves like that. I think he would do better living a more discreet life. He wants to be more out there, but I think you would do better being more integrated with your family and being more behind the scenes, because I don't think you're really ready to be out there like that. But that's just my thing. I think he's been blessed being more behind the scenes. We've seen him out, pictures, paparazzi, whatever, but he hasn't been too overexposed. But now I think, this interview may do something and it may not work to his advantage. So, and it's Mercury retrograde right now, so he could be saying stuff, and then after this retrograde period is over, he may regret it. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. I hope he finds the light, because, dude, you haven't really made waves like that. Like, so you really been ready to be cut off from the money? I don't think you really ready, and the economy is not good right now. So, and I don't really see him doing a YouTube. I don't really see him doing that. I think he wants to walk into a network television. The set is already set, and let's go. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Here, but I got kicked out again. Thank you, luxuriating. I hope you were. I got kicked out the studio. Were you
I
able
mean,
to?
I was talking, and then I finished my thought, and I was like, hello, hello, and then it was all quiet.
No,
So
it
I had
kicked
to
us out.
refresh myself.
Yeah, it kicked us out. That's okay. I'm gonna
It's
you.
Mercury retrograde. It's Mercury retrograde. Technical issues, electronics are tripping. Yeah.
Do you want to
But you're
wrap up
push.
real quick before it kicks us out again?
Um,
Because it's gonna
I
kick us
think
out.
okay, I think EJ would do better being more behind the scenes and being more integrated with his family. But I think because he was fat and gay, he still has insecurities, and no matter how much weight he loses, he's still going to be the fat, insecure person. But I
Okay.
hope he finds the light. I don't think he's ready to be overexposed like that. I think he would be better being more behind the scenes, being more integrated with his family, maybe working with a therapist to get through some of those issues and get his mind right.
All right, that's fair. Thank you for coming up. Luxuriating.
Luxuriating, darling, luxuriating. I'm thoroughly
All right.
luxuriating.
Well, we're gonna
Love
let you
you,
do that
babe.
in the chat. We're gonna drop you down and let you luxuriate in that chat, okay?
Luxuriate. I'm
All
thoroughly
right.
luxuriating. Love you, babe. Kisses.
Okay, thank you for coming up. That concludes today's portion of the show. Let me get out of here before this platform kicks me off again. Thank you, everybody. And happy Monday.